Louder.
With our help at Radio Shack, you don't just buy stuff, you do stuff.
Dale's Radio Shack on the upswing?
It could be. It could be. There's a huge market for tubes to be replaced in receivers and amplifiers. But what I see in this commercial is not so much about whether or not they're on the upswing. What I see in this commercial is I see it as a genre piece. I mean, first of all, love the background music, sort of a Pulp Fiction-esque, right? Sort of, hip, draws me in as some sort of hipster. But the literary side of me takes over, and I see science fiction genre in this commercial. I mean, on the one hand, it's almost like an entire film packaged into a 30-second segment, right? And in that sense, it's sort of a chick flick genre. Right?
Good too.
Well, here's where I see the science fiction.
Freudian slip.
Here's what I see. Here's what I see. Here's what I see. I see a universe in this story where we have time standing still. The notion of time as we know it does not exist. You can accomplish Herculean tasks in a matter of moments. Take thousands of albums, etc., put them onto an MP3 player, something that would take months and months. Time stands still. It's a world where objects become invisible and disappear. Where did those thousands of albums go? I have no idea. I don't know. It's also a world where machines do the speaking on behalf of human beings. So, for example, the male character, right? He says, his only line is, "Penelope, wait." But then, through the record player, the machine speaks his emotions. I see it as a science fiction universe. It's a hetero heartbreak half a minute.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you. I also passed for 3 years or something, and you finally come back. But I wondered if it was a story that even worked. I mean, this is a story in which a man gives up something that he loves for a woman he loves who doesn't understand his passion about that. I think there were actually, in some ways, it was trying to reconcile two very different stories about consumerism. Right? It's a very clear message that you buy this thing, whatever it is, just buy it at Radio Shack and you get to transform yourself and win love. It's the oldest story in advertising.
Right.
But there were two other things that were going on here. Two other big advertising stories is that you buy things to express yourself, like records. They're an expression of, they're kind of like an archive of your life, right? Or you buy things to aspire to something you don't yet have. And he gave up the things that expressed himself, that mode of consumer, like wall-to-wall pottery barn chic, the sterile sort of bourgeois lifestyle that she aspired to. That's actually going to attract music files at all to the Radio Shack product. I don't know.
Is it the product that eliminates other products? Because that's what it seemed like. You buy this and all that goes away.
Exactly. I know. I looked at it more simplistically, I think. I was looking at her as very high maintenance. And I thought, there's nothing that can satisfy her. And eventually this digital item will not satiate her either. And so he's got this high maintenance woman he's trying to please when she's not giving up anything.
Right, I agree. What's she giving up? And he's obviously spent a lifetime, building this pile of stuff that he likes. And the artwork, he trades it all in for a sterile little box to get the girl. It's kind of a sad story.
She's got a beautiful smile.
Cutie. So is that the question?
It's more than beautiful.
What's the price?
It's powerful because when she breaks that big smile, it grabbed me by the heart because, I mean, the reaction was, our relationship is going to be okay. Right, and then when I watched it the second time, I thought, now she's just feeling her own power.
Which may or may not be true. But in addition to the electronic object, he also bought two other items, the card and the rose. Right, and so definitely tapping into some sort of old school romantic vibe.
Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that. You're right. Yeah. And the irony is, all of his stuff is now in a shack somewhere after he sold it at auction today.
And that is a big question. Where is that stuff, and how can I get my hands on it?
He will be nostalgic for it for the rest of his life.
And how much is it worth? Is it like 50 grand worth of records? It might. I mean, it was an entire thousands of albums.
I'd love to. Go ahead.
He's going to pull those back. It goes bust. lost. He's gonna pull him back out. He has him somewhere in
Oh, we
storage.
still got him?
He has him. He has
Well,
him.
here's the other
He's too
piece.
smart.
Here's the other piece too. And coming back to your idea about it being about the relationship, right? I mean, you have this idea that, and even as the song suggests, the song is sort of, I've done something wrong, and I know that you can see. Well, he hasn't done something wrong.
He is
He's
wrong.
become something wrong. I love the adage that we become our decisions. He did not just buy all these records last week, and he's done something wrong at a point in time. He's done something seemingly wrong, according to the song. He's become something wrong. And here's the other piece of this, right? As she's walking out the door, she says, I'll talk about it when I get back. So you put it in the classic male, archetype, and he'll do anything possible to avoid that conversation that she's going to have. And so he'll do whatever it takes to avoid the conversation, and he does it.
It gets back to her reformation. He's actually trying to change. Anyway, time for our exit question. Daryl, what have you done that's wrong?
I have loved the show Mental Engineering. And if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be.
Okay, Daryl.
Margaret?
Do you want them alphabetized or in order of venality?
Order of finality.
I'm not going to, as I heard on TV, discriminate myself. Can you believe it? I'm not going to discriminate incriminate the person mentally.
Kostaki, what have you done that's wrong?
I went to a resort recently and I loved the bath mat there. And at the end of the trip, I put it in my suitcase and brought it.
And I had that room next, and there was no bathroom.
No bath mat. Take that.
3 times I've hitchhiked from the Midwest to the West Coast holding a sign that says Harvard. It's a car magnet. It works great. Coming up next, oil and gas.
Nice.
Very nice.
Harvard.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
So shameless.
I'm sweating already.